So if you're watching this video, the first part of this video is going to be actually signing up for Cloud CMA. So if you've already done that, just pause, and in the description, I'll put when to start when we then get into using Cloud CMA. Okay, so I am going to share screen so that you can see what we're doing, and you're just going to follow along with me. So the first thing you want to do is you want to log into maxtech.me, because when, just like Photify, we want to make sure you log into Cloud CMA through maxtech.me so that it recognizes you as a free subscriber. So once you're in there, as everybody knows, either it's a favorited app and it should show up right here, and it's this green circle with the cloud. If you have not made it a favorite, of course, all you have to do is click over in the left on apps and search for it. And then I would recommend that you save it as a favorite, and it should be, well, these are my favorite apps. Let's see. All apps, I'm sorry, click on all apps over here, and it probably is, it's not region apps. I'm going to tell you what section it's under. That will save you time. It is under marketing. So go down to marketing, click on Cloud CMA, or first click this red heart here to make it a favorite, and then go ahead and click on Cloud CMA. Now, this screen is going to show me already having an account set up, which is where you're going to have a different experience. So what are you seeing? Okay, Cloud CMA. Oh, it's asking you for your MLS provider. Great. I want you to look for MISHRIC, under Michigan, Michigan Information Center. Right. So the first thing it's going to ask is what MLS you're affiliated with, and you're going to choose Michigan Regional Information Center. Then it's asking
your contact information.
Your contact information. Now, the one thing I do remember when we all first signed up for Cloud CMA, they made a big deal of saying, being very careful when you set up a username and password and you set up your email, make sure you use the email and the names and everything that you want showing on your reports. Because of course, it's going to use your profile information as on your reports. I'm just going to kind of chill while Emma fills in her information, because as long as she's not asking questions, it says to me that it's all information that's very easy to, it's all very self-explanatory. It's asking name, address, phone number, all of that kind of thing. The one question with MLS integration is some MLS integration you have to type in the RIC.B, and some of them just the B. So I'm going to go to my profile. Oh, I'm going to move this little thing, and I'm going to go to account settings. I'm going to see what I have entered. MLS credentials. And as you can see, I only have the B. So when it asks for your MLS user ID, you want to be sure, and you do not have to enter your MLS password or PIN. You can leave that blank. So you want just the B, not the RIC.B. And I don't know why, but it's different.
Your DRE number.
DRE, your website, DRE number. Well, let me go. Contact info. Hold on. Profile. Okay, so thank you. It's asking for something called the DRE number, and we are going to go to help and type in DRE number. Designated no. Okay. Hold on, let me just try Googling that. Why not?
Yeah.
Go away.
Get all that in the blank.
Yeah, leave it blank.
LS user ID is the R.
The B, yeah. Oh, it's your real estate license number. California agents only requires this number to display it on all real estate documents. So does not apply to us, California only.
D.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. No? That's an old picture. Whoopsie. The reason we must go in here and do this first is the way you create a CMA is you pull up the documents in Flex first, and then you import them into Cloud CMA. And Flex needs to recognize that you have Cloud CMA, and that happens by doing this.
Okay.
You
Your
think?
account is created.
Good.
Maybe it didn't upload my picture. I can deal with that later.
Yes.
I did put one in, but it didn't go.
Okay, good. So now we are going to talk about what to do from there. So the next thing we're going to do is you're going to log into Flex. It doesn't matter. There's 100 ways to log into Flex. I typed in Mishrick. You can, I don't know how you log into Flex, but yeah. That's me right there. Is that me? Yeah, can't get that. Okay. Sorry, now I lost track of what I had entered. Oops. I don't often have to. Come on. Oh, I think it's the other one. Let's try that. Phew, forgot my MLS. Okay. So well, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I am going to do this. What Cloud CMA allows you to do is create custom reports that have Remax branding, Remax advertising, marketing pieces that you can include in your CMA. And I'm going to go back to Cloud CMA really quickly and just let you know that it's not just CMAs that you can create. So you can create CMAs, and just for the sake of kind of giving you an idea what you can do, I'm sure I created this Miles and Olivia Weaver one the last time I taught this class. So I'm just going to kind of show you what we're talking about. So you can create a CMA, as you can see, right? All the cool stuff that a normal CMA would have, all the properties and that kind of thing, but all branded. Your logo, your photo, your information in the red and blue colors, every page, Remax branded, you branded. So same thing you can get from Flex, from Mishrick, but branded. Okay, so as you can see, this is all the property stuff. It's very possible in this one, we only included the property stuff. So let me go to one that has a little bit more in it. Sorry, I'm trying to find one that maybe I included a lot of the extra documents. Okay, no, because I only use the, we're going to get to that, but there are a lot of other, go away, son of a gun, documents that we can include other than just the, matter of fact, here's one I did for Morgan on Rosewood as a class test. Okay, lot more documents than just the actual CMA too. There's cover pages, there's a resume, there's, you know, cover pages for each section, information about RE/MAX itself, RE/MAX of Michigan, how we compare in the industry, all kinds of my cover page, my resume cover page, and then actually getting into the CMA. So you can see, again, just a much prettier, much better presented of what you do already, just in a much better format. Okay, so that is one of the things that Cloud CMA can do. But the other thing Cloud CMA can do is create a buyer tour. Now, nobody's using this right now because nobody's showing a buyer 15 houses, right? There's just not the inventory. But there was a time when we absolutely did. We took a buyer on a buyer tour. We showed them 5 or 6 properties in one day. And this was an excellent way, I'm going to use this one, to give the buyers something during that showing day that really made you stand out. And here is an example of one. It showed a map of the properties we were going to that day, right? Their name. Talked a little bit about the home buying process, get pre-qualified, make your wish list. So, you know, how we do it. Again, a map and a list of all the listings we were going to look at that day, and then details and some photos of each property, followed by the short information and about, you know, a chance for them to kind of mark how they rated that property, and for them to make notes so that when they got home, they could kind of remember what they loved about that property. Additional photos of the property, a list of neighborhood schools to that property, and then moving on to the next property. So a very nice thing to hand to the buyer that nobody else is giving them, that they can use as they're viewing these properties to kind of keep their notes. And you know, sometimes you get back, they'd get back home and be like, which one was this? Which one was that? And this is just an opportunity. So buyer tour is another thing that you can make. And then you can make a property, I can't even remember what this is. So I'm just going to a property report. So let's say they're very interested in one property. When Morgan was on maternity leave, I covered for her and sold one of her clients this property. And so it's just a report on that property, including the neighborhood statistics. You know, this is actually provided by Zillow. Information on the neighborhood and the demographics, loan scenarios for this property, depending on what type of loan you might want to get, that kind of thing. So this was information just on the one property that buyer was interested in. So you can do a property report. Lastly, you can, not lastly for us, because we don't have access to HomeBeat and we don't use HomeBeat, but you could actually create a flyer for a property. Okay, but specifically, we're going to talk about Cloud CMA right now. So you're in Flex, you're coming up with a CMA for somebody. Let me pray that I have a saved search. Save searches. I do, good. Let's do Cindy Bear, that's a perfect one. Okay. So you've got these properties that you want to use for a CMA, and good, I do have active and sold in here. So once you, the reason that we're talking about starting in Flex, you don't have to start in Flex. You can literally start in Cloud CMA, enter your criteria, and Cloud CMA will go fetch the listings in Flex and bring them in. The problem with that is then if you don't like the listings, you have to start over again. Where if you go into Flex first and just play with the listings and decide what listings first you're going to include in your CMA, then you can push them to Cloud CMA and you're done. So I highly recommend you start in Flex. Once you find the listings you want, you know, I'm going to use all these 11 listings. You choose those listings and then you go up. I keep having to move this thing. You go up and you click on these 3 dots in the upper right hand side and click export. Now, Emma, I'm curious if you choose some listings and click export, if it is going to have Cloud CMA come up yet, or if that might take 24 hours to have that happen. Did it come up? If you choose some listings, click export, do you get this screen? Do you need me to go back and show you what I did? Oh, sorry.
So.
Yep, just, and it doesn't matter. Like, it's just for demonstration purposes.
Export.
Yep. Good, perfect. So that's immediately, because you set up that integration, Flex knows that you have Cloud CMA. So Cloud CMA comes up. Yep, I'm going to do a Cloud CMA. I'm going to do a CMA, export all the matches. Yes, because I ahead of time made sure I was exporting the matches I want. So we're just going to go ahead and click CMA, which will bring you then over to Cloud CMA and start a CMA for you. Boom. Okay. So things you do want to do now, it is important to do, is you do want to add the client's name. Private notes is literally private notes. These are things you could type about your client and the experience or whatever that the client will not see. So this is where you could say, you know, not sure if she's really ready, so may have to rerun in the future or something, right? These are where you can keep your notes. You want to enter the address of the subject property, and I can't remember, so I'm going to put my address. I can't remember what her address, oops.
Subject property, so their current address?
They,
Like
right, subject property is the address of the person you're doing a CMA for, right? So I'm doing one for Mike and Emma. I'm going to enter their address, right? So this is the subject property. Now, because their property isn't listed, Cloud CMA can't pull that information from here. So this is where you're going to say, you know, it's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath house with 1,700 square feet. It's residential. It is a single family residence. And here you can even add, and should, if you have one, a photo of the property, whether you get it from the tax records or an old listing, or you drive by real quick and shoot a photo. If you add a cover photo, then that comes up on that cover page. Okay. All right. So how do you want to get listings? I've already pulled them, right? So I don't need to do anything. I've already pulled these exact listings. All I have to do now is click Fetch Listings. No. And boom, it pulls those listings I've already asked for right into my CMA. And frankly, your CMA could be done at that point, right? You could literally just be like, yep, that's good. I'm done. I just wanted to pull the listings. I just wanted to show her the comps on pretty pages. I'm done. Okay. However, there are more things you can do. If you're prepared to suggest a price, you could put a price in there, and then you could create a price guide and net sheet. You could add expenses. You could create a net sheet right here. Now, if you were going to present this, that is the other thing I didn't talk about. Let me go back right here. In Cloud CMA, one of the great things about Cloud CMA too is once you create a CMA, you have options. You can print a PDF and bring it with you, or you can do a live presentation. You can come to their house, pull up that PDF somewhat as a PowerPoint, and do a PowerPoint presentation on your laptop rather than a paper presentation. If you're going to do a paper presentation, you could just print the net sheet from your Chicago title app and include it in the paperwork. But if you were going to do a presentation, I would run the NetSheet app in my Cloud CMA or my Chicago title app. I would transfer those numbers into a Cloud CMA presentation, and then boom, I've got a NetSheet right there. Quite often we're not prepared to do a NetSheet because we need to meet with the people in it. But if you were really comfortable and we're ready to even tell them, I think we need to list at this price and here's what you would net, then you could include that net sheet right there in that. Okay. All right. So let's go back. You could do that. Even though you've chosen your listings in Flex, if you change your mind, you always could remove something, right? You could always pull a listing out. Let's say you get in here, you were happy with everything, and now you realize that really just is not a good comp. You could just pull that out, okay? You can see it's giving you a summary of your listings at 10 sold and 1 active, and the low, medium, average, and high of those comps, okay? But let's say you're happy with that. I'm happy with these listings. I'm not going to put a price and do a net sheet now because I really don't know. I'm going to keep all these listings. So then the next step is you go into customize your report. And here's where you're going to choose what pages you want to include, okay? The awesome thing about the pages is under each section, you can preview the page before you decide whether or not you want to include it. So we're going to start with the introduction page. There's a title page. And look, if you click this little eyeball, it's going to show you a preview of the title page. So this title page is a very plain title page. It's showing an aerial view. That must be what I put up for that, right? Oh no, that is my house. Because I entered the Google address, if you don't, that's awesome. If you don't enter a photo, it will default to an aerial. That is an aerial of my house. That's awesome. Because remember, I used my address and Google identified it, Google Map identified it. Huh, learn something new every day. There you go. I prefer this alternative title page. I just think it's much prettier, cooler, and this is it. And actually does probably, I don't even know what it does. Maybe I don't prefer this because I will say, maybe you include them both. This is the first page without really their information on it. And then the second page is this page with their information on it. But these are the two title pages that they have. There's a cover letter. If you're going to do a cover letter, that's fine. But actually, I take it back. This is pre-written, but you should look at it and make sure that you are okay with what it says. You can always change that. There is an agent resume. This is the one. Oh, look, it says edit. So this is the one. If you don't go in and create a resume in Cloud CMA, it's not going to have anything to show, right? It doesn't show anything because I have not completed a resume. You can either edit it on the fly, or you can go into your documents and edit it, and it will stay that way for all of your, right? Here's a section divider. Why Remax, right? So all of these things that you can decide whether I want to use or not. Agents who are newer and need more help, not just what are we doing here, but why should you do it with me, are going to use a lot more of these kind of what's great about us and me pages. Agents who've been in the business 20 years, you've already decided to use me, we need to talk about the house, right? So by the time Cloud CMA came around, I really wasn't using any of these because they were already deciding they were going to use me. I didn't have to sell me. But there's some very nice #1 in Michigan. Remax is #1 in Michigan. Remax versus the industry. We do Children's Miracle Network partnering, custom marketing and advertising. Let's even see what that is. Oh, that all the different advertising that being part of a big franchise gets you, right? So Remax has custom flyers, custom postcards, online sharing, Facebook sharing, all those things that you get with being with a large franchise. So, again, I remember every once in a while, I would end up at a marketing presentation or a listing presentation where they had met with another agent. And, you know, that was a Jayco agent, and they left this nice big folder of all this pretty stuff, you know, and I really I didn't talk about that stuff anymore, because I knew that really what was important was me and me giving you good advice, not so much all the pretty marketing we do. But I need to be able to tell you that we do all that pretty marketing. It's just not going to make the difference. The difference is, did we price it right? Is it conditioned right? And then, yes, we give you all that pretty marketing. But if you don't tell the seller that, they don't know, right? Okay. Our company, what is a CMA, how to contact me, Title V report. Interesting. Don't even know what that is. It is blank. No idea what that is. I'll have to ask. Another section divider. And then under listings, you can decide. Do I want to include a listings chapter page? It's basically just a chapter page, right? A opening page that here's the listings. Do I want to just include the photos that fit on the first page, or do I want to include all of the photos? So it's asking that. Do I want to include an adjustments page? When's the last time you saw an appraisal? In an appraisal, an appraiser has the subject property and then the comparable properties lined up. And then it says, this house sold for 500, but it makes adjustments. But this house had a pool. So you have to knock $20,000, $30,000 off that price, because the subject house doesn't. But the subject house had a finished basement and this one didn't. So you have to add 10,000. It's adjustments. If you're going to do a CMA the way an appraiser does an appraisal, you're going to do adjustments. We don't teach CMAs that way, so we don't use that adjustment page. Okay. An analysis, right? There's an analysis section. One of them is you can show them what the online, just like Buyside does. Here's what Zillow says your house is worth. Here's what, you know, how accurate are our estimates. They're about 31.4% off. So if you're looking at his estimate, here's the, you know, truth about estimates. Here's the sold price for this property. Here's what this estimate was. Here's the sold price for this property. Here's what this estimate was. So this can be a very nice tool if they're like, yeah, but our Zillow said a house is worth this much. This would be a great page to be able to pull on. Yes, but look what Zillow, you know, this house sold for 480 and this estimate was 505. So it helps them see these estimates give you a ballpark, but they're not accurate. Okay. So the first few times you do a Cloud CMA, this is true in everything, right? The first time I do something, it's taking me 4 or 5 hours to decide what I want to use, know what I'm using, make decisions, manipulate it, whatever. Spend all that time just understanding this is what it takes. And then once you create a CMA that you want and you choose which documents you want, you can then create, I think it's after. This is asking you, do you want to use the default template, or do you want to use this layout template? But I think, let me just try this. Let me just add some stuff.
So mine
Go ahead.
Coming up with most of that
already in it. So good. I want to show you that. Yours is defaulting to most of it in it. I had chosen not to use any of that. So mine came up with nothing in it. I want you to see that once you add stuff by clicking the plus, you can also remove it by clicking the minus next to here. So you're going to spend some time, right? You're going to spend some time. So now I've chosen these documents and I'm going to click publish report. And I just randomly chose documents, so I don't even know what I chose. And it's creating a report. Your CMA is publishing. Okay. Now I can view the PDF or I can view it live. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to remember how to, once you create one, there is a way to then say, make this my default template. Okay, so we'll check on that in a minute. But you can see, again, I've shown you a PDF. The other thing you can do then is you can go to this person's house, go to Cloud CMA, click on View It Live, and right here you are, and you can start presenting your CMA. Looks like one of the things I chose is to say, oh, these are the pages, sorry. So here it is, and you say, okay, let's get started. First, I want to talk a little bit about me. Here's my resume, da, 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 da. Next, a little bit about RE/MAX. Our company is a multi, da, 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 right? Why should you use RE/MAX over others? Well, we're established, right? This then becomes a interactive presentation, right? We're #1 in Michigan. You know, in Michigan, I don't even know what this is. Sorry. Percentage, what percentage of the market share we had, right? So RE/MAX had 11.36% of market share. The closest was Keller Williams at 11%. And, you know, and then you could say, oh, interesting, these other two offices you might be speaking to we're way down here, and oh, Jaqua is not even on there, right? Okay. What is a CMA? Let me start by explaining to you what we're doing today. And here's your CMA. So I pulled up a bunch of listings similar to yours, and look how beautiful this is. Just, you know, a very nice display. Now, I'm going to tell you, I was never a big fan of these types of CMAs because I feel like it puts their attention on your computer and not on you. I, even to this day, would still use a printed paper CMA because I feel like it keeps the attention where I want it to be, which is with me. Okay, but there is this opportunity as well. The other thing is you can email this to somebody. Let's say you just have no choice but to do a CMA remotely because they're in Texas and the house is here. You could email that to them and you could say, as soon as you get this, you know, give me a call. I'd like to walk you through it. And you could do it right then, walk them through it. Okay. All right. That was a very quick how-to on Cloud CMA. Here's the other thing I want to show you. If you go back to Max Tech and you go to Fast Forward Training and you search Cloud CMA, there is a whole series of trainings on Cloud CMA, several of them. And one of them is the series. Isn't that funny? When I pulled this up before, one of the results, oh, here it is, Cloud CMA series. So all of these, and just go to the bottom one and click on Cloud CMA series. And here are all the different Cloud CMA video trainings you can take. So it's kind of up to you, right? I can introduce you to Cloud CMA, but that if you really want to dive deep into Cloud CMA and what's offered, there's a whole series of trainings on it. Okay, now here's the other piece of advice for everybody watching this. Do not wait till the day before you have a listing appointment to learn Cloud CMA. You will hate your life, right? The first time to do a Cloud CMA is a practice one on your own home. And you know, maybe that's a thing, a to-do for you. You pull up your calendar, you see that you've got some free time next Thursday, you schedule 4 hours to really implement Cloud CMA and do a practice. I would recommend, rather than doing one on your own house, you've done one already, right? So now go back and do that CMA on Cloud CMA and play with it. Okay? Any questions?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is a lot.
There's a lot to use.
There's a lot to
play with
use,
it
and you have to play with it and see. And the biggest reason I want agents to know this is available is what I don't want is somebody saying, you know, all the other offices have all these really nice displays and layouts they can use, and RE/MAX doesn't have that. No, RE/MAX has it. The difference between us, especially Jaqua, the upside of Jaqua is also the downside of Jaqua. The upside of Jaqua is they are very trainy, but they are trainy to the point of putting their thumb on you, right? So RE/MAX is, you can do this, you can do that. but we want you to tailor this to what works for you. Jakeway is, you will do this, you will do that, you will use this. They even tell you how to say things, and that's how you need to say it. So it's an upside is that it's very trainy. The downside is that that it's very, they don't even let you sell for a period of time because they have to make sure that you do it this way and that way. But, an agent from RE/MAX sees this presentation that Jakeway has to give, and they're like, well, we don't have anything like that. No, we do. But we allow you to say, I'd like to use that, or that's stupid, I'm not using that, right? We allow you to decide. And so what I want agents to know is if you say to yourself, I wish I had something that kind of talked about that, we do. Oh, here's the other thing I want you to know about Cloud CMA. When you, let's go back and edit this. When you are adding documents, you can just add documents. So I have to go back. Unfortunately, when you edit this, you can't just go back to editing the customizing part. So hold on. Customize report. We created as a group a really cool document, a syndication document. We created it when we were going through a rural workman training, and it's a PDF that has your listing and that has arrows going out to all the different places your listing gets syndicated. And it's not a Cloud CMA form, it's a form that we created ourselves. And you can just go to custom pages and you can, let me see, that might be it actually. No, this says Lisa's custom page. You can actually upload PDFs and add pages. It's even different than that. No, I know you do that here. Sorry. Go on your custom pages. Go to your profile, click on custom pages, and you can upload your own custom pages that you upload a PDF right there. And you can upload your own pages. So if there's pages you like to use that aren't part of Cloud CMA, you just upload them yourself. And now you can start using those pages as well. Okay? Remind me and I will send you that syndication page. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna stop sharing. Stop recording. Sure, yeah.